The U.S. Supreme Court last week delivered a decision on Alabama's congressional maps. Here's the word that got me: interposed. The justices said that a lower court had gotten in the way of the state and its elections by requiring the drawing of a congressional district where Black voters had an opportunity to elect their preferred leaders. So several points here. First, Alabama is about 64% white and about 27% Black. Second, voting in Alabama is racially polarized. White Alabamians tend to vote for Republicans. Black Alabamians tend to vote for Democrats. And generally speaking, Republicans really don't try to get Black votes. So if 2/3 of the state votes for people who ignore you, you're probably not going to have an easy time getting your voice heard in government. That's why Alabama for decades has had at least one majority-minority district to ensure that that voice is heard. In Alabama, having only one district means only 14% of the total House delegation, not 27%. So in 2021, a group of plaintiffs sued the state seeking to create a second majority-minority district or something like that. They ended up prevailing in 2023. But now the U.S. Supreme Court says that lower court decision interposed on the state of Alabama and its elections. So I've covered this since the lawsuit was first filed in 2021. I was at the first day of arguments in the trial in 2022. The three judges who have overseen the case, that's Stanley Marcus, Anna Manasco, and Terry Moore, have been careful and judicious with the evidence. Their conclusions about what to do were backed by the evidence. Their remedies were backed by those conclusions. They created what they called an opportunity district, which is not a majority-minority district, but something where Black voters are about 48% of the population. That wasn't exactly the remedy the plaintiffs sought, but it did the job. In 2024, for the first time in state history, Alabama voters sent 2 Black Alabamians to serve in the U.S. House at the same time. Now, is Alabama still a Republican state? Yes. Do Republicans still make up a majority of the congressional delegation? Also yes. But Alabama state officials wanted more. And I can't stress enough how much bad faith they've brought to this process. First, they claimed in 2022 that 2-3 months to create new congressional boundaries was too short a time to do that, too disruptive. Today, they're saying that they can do all of this in 6 weeks. Even better, in 2023, state officials went on the record saying they would not follow the lower court's order to draw a responsive map. They went on the record with their defiance. Now, the justices didn't buy that in 2023, but they bought it last week. They overturned the lower court. They let Alabama use a map that had been previously declared racially discriminatory. They let Alabama throw out a map that no one except partisans had a problem with, and which people have already voted under. Those votes, gone. The lower court treated the right to vote with the dignity that it deserves. The Supreme Court got in the way to achieve a partisan outcome. And that's what interposition is.